Is your child a natural-born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Good defense! Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting!
Let's go!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't call the New York Knicks dead after they went down 3-1 in a best-of-7 series Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers, because last night they rallied, pushed off elimination, and lived to see a Game 6. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Jessica Benson's going to join me. She, of course, is the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. She's dealing with family loss right now.
Yes, she is.
She's dealing with a loss in the family. They have had a car stolen. Chris and Jessica have had a car stolen.
That's disappointing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I'll ask her how she's feeling.
You ever had a car stolen?
No, but I thought I did.
You did?
I called
You just lost your car?
I just lost my car.
Yeah. That's happened to me before, too.
I literally called the police. They came out to take a report, and then we found my car. I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you and Jessica the story. I'll tell you and Jessica that story. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to JB and telling stupid stories, we'll take a break, come back, and do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, NCAA President Charlie Baker has said yesterday that the NCAA tournament will likely expand, and it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. We'll get into that situation. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Longtime journalist Howard Bryant has put a price on what Cooper Flagg's contracts looked like while at Duke. They were lucrative. I'll give you the numbers a little later on in the show. The Big 12 and WWE, they've reached an agreement to bring SmackDown to Big 12 markets on Friday nights before Saturday football games. That sounds fun. Cool. That sounds neat. I'll tell you more about that in just a bit. Astros pitcher Lance McCullers has hired private security after multiple threats were made online against he and his family. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly on the internet. Surprise, surprise. Sign of the times, I guess. We'll discuss it in the second hour, and there will soon be soap available, made in part from Sydney Sweeney's bath water.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was only a matter of time before we got here. It was only a matter of time before we got here.
Isn't that surprising?
I will ask Bennett if he plans to make a purchase during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry-out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the 2025 NBA playoffs because they rolled on last night. We got Game 5, Knicks, Pacers, MSG, Midtown Manhattan. Timothy and Kylie were there. Ben was there. Spike was there. Star-studded event per usual. And now this weekend, all of those people, plus the rest of us, will be able to watch Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals because last night the Knicks staved off elimination with a dominant victory at home. Final score, Knicks 111, Pacers 94. Jalen Brunson was awesome. Tyrese Halliburton was not. Brunson took 18 shots, made 12 of them, finished with 32 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He also guarded. More on that in a moment. Meantime, 2 days after Tyrese Halliburton delivered a historically unprecedented performance in Game 4, he just never got comfortable in Game 5. Only took 7 shots, only made 2 of them. So he gets 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, 0 turns in a Game 4 victory. And in a Game 5 elimination situation for the Knicks, he only got 8.6 assists and 2 rebounds. Just was not there all night long. So now we're set for Game 6. Big Bet Bennett, we know teams don't usually come back from down 3-1 in the NBA playoffs. The record all time is 13-283. But the Knicks are no longer down 3-1. Now it's 3-2. Do you give them life? Do you believe?
I don't know if I believe. I mean, I think the likely scenario is they probably get blasted in Game 6. I think that's the likely scenario.
I don't know if that's the likely scenario.
Well,
let's just speak factually for a second. Here is what is a likely scenario. The Pacers win on Saturday, and the series is over.
Yeah.
That is the likely scenario. The likely scenario in this series, big picture, is still that the Pacers get out of it.
Yeah.
But the Knicks are only a 3.5-point favorite in Gainbridge Fieldhouse tomorrow night. That suggests that a blowout is not the likely outcome, but it's certainly on the table. Frankly, I think anything's on the table.
I think that the one thing in the Knicks' favor is just how good they are defensively, and that's going to give them a chance. Because, dude, I mean, we've seen it play out like this so many times before, right? Like where it's a 3-1 series, and well, I guess not really because the Knicks lost the first 2 at home. But we've seen it a lot of times before where, a team's in an elimination situation, they're playing at home, and they win the game because the team that's up 3-1 is like, okay, we'll.
It felt a little bit like that last night.
We'll take this thing back home.
It felt a little bit like last night. Like even Pascal Siakam in what has become a viral interview moment. Oh, Greg Doyle, my God, not again, not Greg Doyle again. I love Greg Doyle.
Yes.
Man, if I were him, I'd stop asking questions in press conferences just on print, just to make my life easier.
Well, that one was weird.
Just to make my life easier, I would just be like, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to ask Caitlin Clark anything. I'm not going to ask Pascal Siakam anything. And I know that's not the type of thing a reporter's supposed to say. Don't ask questions. But at this point, I'm just looking out for you, man. At this point, I'm just tired of seeing the internet come down on your head. So I would just stop asking questions and just try to not go viral ever again. Just write my little columns and go home and pet my dog and go to sleep. But whatever. My point is, Siakam last night was asked by Greg Doyle, why didn't you play harder? And it got very awkward. But the only reason we got to this awkward moment was like even Pascal Siakam acknowledged we did not play hard. We did not play hard. And even if we did play hard, we didn't play as hard as them. And Doyle was like, why? And he was like, what do you mean? We just, that's just sports.
We just didn't.
That's just sports, bro. Sometimes you don't have it. And he was like, but why? And it was like, yo, who was this? And it got, I'd just stop asking questions, I think, if I were Greg.
Definitely a cringe moment.
I think I would just stop asking questions. But he can handle it however he wants to handle it. My point is that there was a little bit of that last night, so I hear where you're coming from. It looked like the Pacers, starting right at the top with Halliburton, were like, we'd like to win this game, But if we don't, we still got two more.
Yeah.
We still got two more shots. It sounds a little bit like what Anthony Edwards was trying to say the night before, which is, I would have liked to have gone to the NBA Finals this year, but man, I'm 23. I got plenty of time to get this right. That's more or less what he was trying to say. And the Pacers, with their performance, sort of suggested that. We would have liked to have got it done tonight. Would have been amazing to send all the big town celebrities home in tears. But if we don't get it tonight, we can go back home and get it. And if we don't get that, well, we can still come back here and try to get one. We know we can win here. We did it already twice in this series earlier. There was a sense of urgency on one side, not so much on the other. And if you are interpreting that as, all right, fine, so now we're 3-2, but the team that has shown itself to be better in this series, at least in record-wise, is now going back home. We're still headed where we thought we were headed, Thunder Pacers. I hear you, but it feels up in the air a little bit. It feels up in the air. It feels more like, okay, maybe than it was this time yesterday, perhaps because by definition it is more possible now than it was this time yesterday because of last night's win. But typically, I told you this yesterday, when series are 3-1, I assume they're over. I still think the Pacers will get out of this, but I can't wait to watch tomorrow.
The Knicks are 2-0 with Kylie Jenner in attendance in this series.
Did you notice her on the broadcast much last night?
Are you kidding me? That's like all I paid attention to. Or just the whole that whole group in general that was all sitting together.
My wife had an observation. Tell me if you think there's something to this. She said, "Who is at some point?" She says, "Who's Timothy?" Because Timothy was all over the place, right?
Yeah.
She said,
I got some stuff.
She said, "Who is Timothy there with?" And I said, "Kylie."
Yeah, of course.
And she said, "They're not showing her." My wife suggested that they were cutting her out of shots on TNT intentionally. They were shooting it.
For what reason?
Because just the presence of a Kendall or a Kylie or a Kim or a Chloe or a Courtney tends to bring weird reactions from people, not unlike the Taylor Swift stuff. And my wife suggested there was a production meeting, and they said, obviously, we're going to get the Spike Lee shots and the Ben Stiller shots and the Timothée Chalamet shots, but if we can focus more on Chalamet because he's a New Yorker Knicks fan and less on the Jenner, let's try to do that.
Yeah.
You buy it?
I'm not sure.
I did notice that there was certainly late in the game, there were Chalamet shots, and she was not in them. She was like blocked out. Like either she was sitting down behind him. Like there's a million cameras in this place. There's a director sitting in a truck. They can take any shot they want. They've got 70 cameras. If they want a shot of Timothy and Kylie, they got that camera.
Yep.
And they were taking the camera. This is the way they talk in the truck. Like let's take camera 2, take 7. Take 11. I want 14. You could take whatever camera you want, and boom, it's there. There is always a camera on Timothy and Kylie, and they weren't taking that shot. They were taking another shot from a different angle that was getting Timothy but blocking out Kylie. My wife thought it was intentional.
Interesting. We did. There was an iconic photo last night with both of them in it that is like, I don't think it got the credit it deserved last night, but 10 years from now, we're going to look up and be like, man, that's one of the best photos in NBA history. Look at that. Look at TJ McConnell just throwing it up to all. Ben Stiller, Kylie, Timothée Chalamet. What's that guy? Why can't I think of his name?
I can't even see that far.
That's my guy from Top Gun Maverick, Miles Teller.
Oh, yeah, I know Miles Teller.
Yeah. And his girlfriend, like, dude, that's some star power in that photo right there. If I'm TJ McConnell, I want that to be a card. Like, I'm talking to Topps or whoever.
However they do cards, that should be a card.
That's got to be a card. That's like going to be up there. The one that's Grizzlies lore, obviously, is John Young Dolph in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean Toohey.
I think Key Glock. I think it's Key Glock. Is it Key Glock?
I think so in Young Dolph, yeah.
And Sean Toohey.
It's Ja's rookie card.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So, yes, however they do, I don't know anything about cards other than my kids ask me to buy them sometimes.
I'll get Roser on
and then I pick them up on the floor. My kids say, Dad, I want to start collecting cards. And I say, but they're just scattered all over the house all the time. You don't really collect them. Like, I think if I went to Roser's house and I said, let me see your cards, he would have to go get them.
Yeah.
If you come to my house and you want to see cards, just walk around. Man, you'll step on one. They'd be in the driveway, garage, on the kitchen table. They're everywhere. I don't know much about cards because my kids won't take care of them. We're working on it. But all I do is buy cards and then step on them.
Yeah.
That's all that happens at my house. We're working on it. So I don't know anything about cards, but I'm with you. That should be a card.
Yes.
And if nothing else, you know what it will be? It will be a framed photograph in TJ McConnell's home for the rest of his life.
Yes.
It'll
that's
be that,
so good.
It'll be that, if nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, those. I think you at least got one Oscar winner on that row.
And a future one.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying one of those two guys will win one. Miles Teller or Timothy Chalamet. One of those two guys will win an Oscar.
I would bet on that.
Yeah.
Timothy's going to get a lifetime achievement. He'll get one at some point for the same reason Leo got one at some point.
Yes.
Because even if no individual performance is like the best of that year, at some point we'll just say, we got to give this guy one. My God, he's amazing. We got to give this one. I'll bet on that, Bennett. Timothy Chalamet or Miles Teller, but I'll bet on Timothy. But one of them, somebody in that picture is going to win an Oscar someday. What if it's TJ McConnell?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd
be unexpected.
What if it was Kylie? What if Kylie won an Oscar someday?
I don't know if I don't think she desires that.
I bet people. I don't know what she desires, but I bet people have been skeptical of her before, and look at her now.
Look at her now.
Billionaire with a B. I love everything about this series.
Oh, I do too. I don't want it to end. I really do hope we get a Game 7.
I love everything about this series.
Game 7 at the Garden would be amazing. It'd be the final TNT broadcast with that crew. Like, it would be.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
It would be high level cinema. It would be high level cinema.
It feels like this is the type of series that has brought in people who don't even really care deeply about the Knicks, Pacers, or the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're aware of what's happening in here. For instance, me and my little guy Lou were shooting hoops yesterday. And I just love that these are the types of things that happen in sports, and he picks up on them without me even having to bring them up. So we're just shooting basketball, right? Just taking shots. And he takes a jumper, and off the back of the rim, it bounced straight up in the air. Not as high as Halliburton's did in Game 1, but the shot was boom, bounced straight up, and it fell straight back in. And he looked at me and he hit me with the choke.
I love it.
Like, I don't know how familiar Lou was with Tyrese Halliburton 1 year ago, but now he's dropping jumpers on me and hitting me with the choke.
Well, and that's the thing, dude, is like, I saw someone make a great point yesterday saying the league has got to, and I get it, like LeBron, Steph, like KD, these are like some of your biggest stars ever. But like, you got this new crop of guys coming in.
I think we're learning something right now, and I think it will be reflected in the NBA schedule release, television schedule next season. We have just tried to hold on to LeBron and Steph and KD
Market
forever.
the new guys.
These guys are stars.
Yes.
Put them on the stage. Think of it as wrestling. If you kept trying to put 50-year-old wrestlers in the ring on the biggest stages, main events, the live premium events, it's all about the older guys who are on their way out, and you just keep putting them on those stages at the expense of the younger guys.
Yep.
You can't build your new talent if you stay focused on your older talent. It's similar with the NBA. You can't make a young guy a star if he can't do the job, but you can put them in a position to like really expand everything about themselves, their market, their team, and by extension, the NBA. How do you get new stars? You put them on the stage and let them go.
Yeah,
right now they've got to this stage by just being great at what they do. Their team's being successful. But in the regular season, it's not entirely up to them to be visible. The NBA has to make them visible. You have to put them on ESPN, ABC, next season, NBC. And if I were in charge of that league, I'd be moving a little further away from the older players and shifting it toward the Halliburtons, the Anthony Edwards,
Wembanyama,
the Wembies. Honestly, if we can ever get this thing straight here, the Grizzlies because of Ja. Obviously, market size still do matter. Luka and LeBron, that's going to do numbers.
LA, of course.
I got it. I'm not saying. I just think what we're realizing right now is that there are some really fun, young, incredible players who have the personalities and everything else to really actually become the type of people we do want to focus on. We just got to put the spotlight on them.
Yep.
In the regular season, that's up to the NBA. Right now, it's up to them. They got themselves here, and it's been awesome. And this series specifically, just tremendous.
It's great.
You've got Pat McAfee yelling about Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet and Spike Lee.
Middle America.
Called them sons of bitches.
Yeah, right.
All right? Then you got Ben Stiller coming back and saying, yo, what's wrong with him? What a weirdo. Like, I'm sorry for being so talented that I'm happen to also be famous. But at my core, I'm just a New Yorker who loves the Knicks. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of New Yorkers who love the Knicks, and most of them could walk in any arena in America and nobody even blinks because you don't know who these people are. And I know I'm different than that. But inside, I'm just a guy who loves the Knicks and wanted to come enjoy your city. And 99.9% of the people in your city were awesome. But why is this? What is going on here? Right? Then John Mellencamp wants to jump into the conversation.
I saw John Cougar. I saw him. Yeah,
John Cougar.
He was a little mean.
Well, I think
that was a little old man yelling at clouds. And I've seen him in concert. All right, listen, I mess with John Cougar Mellencamp. Do you call him Cougar anymore, or is it just John Mellencamp?
Do people even know the story?
Is Cougar gone?
Do you know that? I think this is the story. When he first comes, when he first burst onto the scene, he's John Cougar. And then at some point, like, it's not unusual for people to change their names in entertainment. You're not going to believe this, but Lady Gaga was not born Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he was just John Cougar, but then it was like, no, man, I'm John Mellencamp.
Okay.
I want to be true to who I am. I'm from Indiana.
I'm Middle America.
I'm Middle America.
Yeah.
And then it was like, he'll be John Cougar Mellencamp. And I honestly don't know if we've scrapped the Cougar yet. But I think you could go with John Mellencamp or John Cougar Mellencamp.
Well,
or JCM.
Either way.
You want to go JCM?
That's cool. I mess with him. I've seen him in concert.
If there's one thing I would assume about you, it's that you mess with
little pink houses.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Sucking on chili dogs. But
I don't like that line.
I like it.
I mean, if I saw somebody sucking on a chili dog, I'd be like, yo, what's up with you?
Oh, it's a great line.
It's a
great
weird
song,
line.
A great line.
It's a weird line. It's biting on a chili dog. That's what I do to chili dogs. I bite on them.
I think it's a great line.
If we had a cookout, Bennett, and you came over to my house and I said, you want a burger or a dog? And you said, I want a dog. And I said, Bennett, you want chili on it? And you said, man, of course I want chili. I want a chili dog. And then I said, okay, coming right up. And I handed you a plate and I handed you a chili dog and you were like, I'd be like, what is going on with you, bro? Is that how you would do it? I don't know.
No. Luke, please clip that. I want that one. I need that one in the can, please. I
don't know how you would suck a chili dog. That's the way I imagine doing it. All right?
No, but I thought that he took it a little too far. I say all that to say he was like, we're having fun here, dude. Don't get so upset.
I sort of saw his point, but maybe that's because I'm an old man myself.
Maybe so. Maybe you're old man yelling at clouds.
I just sort of thought about it from a totally different perspective. Let's think about it from our perspective. All right? If the Grizzlies were in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers and Justin Timberlake decided to go sit courtside and Billie Eilish grabbed the microphone and was like, hey, before we get going here, I noticed Justin Timberlake's here, and I know he's like a big star now, but in reality, he's just a hick from Memphis, and I don't know why we got these hicks from Memphis in L.A. Let's send him back to the woods that he loved to brag about. Didn't he say he was from the woods?
He was a man of the woods.
He's a man of the woods. Let's send this hick from Memphis back to the woods. Go Lakers. We'd be like, what is going on? He's just there trying to watch a basketball game.
Yeah.
We would think that was...
Maybe so.
We would think that's a little out of line. I would think that's a little out of line. Like, I will tell you this. If the Grizzlies were in a 7-game series with the Lakers, and suddenly the same people you see sitting at Lakers games are sitting courtside at FedEx Forum because they're coming to see their Lakers team, and Chris Vernon got on the microphone and was like, hey, it's nice to see all these LA celebs here. There's Kendall and Kylie and Kim. But let's send these whores back to LA. I would be like, yo, Vernon, what are you doing, man? That's like we want them to leave here and be like, Memphis was awesome. I mean this sincerely. When I was at game 1 or game 3, I guess it was game 3, Thunder Grizzlies.
Yes.
Game 3.
Yeah.
I go out of my way to be nice to people I see in Oklahoma City gear. Like I'll hold a door for them, or I'll be like, you need a straw. I want them to go, people were nice. I will be nice. I don't go, thunder down, weirdos.
Oh, it is very unfortunate that their fans are nice.
I try to be nice to them because I want people to leave Memphis and have a good impression of Memphis. I want people to feel good about their experience. So I go out of my way to be nice to people.
It is extremely unfortunate that their fans are nice because literally every OKC fan that I've ever come in contact with that's come here for a game has been nice as hell. And I hate that.
I am team be nice to visitors. I believe that. I say be nice to visitors.
I think the only scenario when it's not when that doesn't apply is Lakers. Like when you want to shame them out of the building after you,
because that might not be a Lakers fan from LA. That might be a Lakers fan from Collierville.
Yeah, you want to shame them out of the building. Every other fan base, I tend to agree.
I could compromise with you on that.
Yeah.
I could compromise with you on that. I guess I could compromise with you on that.
Yeah.
I take it on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, but Lakers fans were shaming them out of the building.
I love everything about this series.
I do too.
I can't get enough of it. And just one last thing. I know the math is the math, down 3-1, 13 and 283 all time. And I hate the cliche, we're just taking it one game at a time. Because in life, you really don't just take things one game at a time, usually. You don't take days one day at a time. Mm-hmm. It's just not a natural way to approach anything. One day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Like, just take that and drill down on it. Mm-hmm. If you take everything one day at a time, do you take everything 1 hour at a time? Do you take everything 1 minute at a time? So you're just totally focused on this minute and never the next minute? It's just not, that's not the way anybody's head works. Mm-hmm. So when people say things like, we're just taking it one game at a time, I'm like, shut up. But I really do think in a situation like the situation the Knicks have found themselves in, that is the proper approach. Here's what I mean.
Yep.
Every time a team's down 3-1, it's not exactly like this. In fact, often it is the team that did not have home court advantage that is down 3-1. So you do not have Game 5 in your building, and you do not have Game 7 in your building. You're down 3-1, and you are heading into a Game 5 back on the road. That's why these things get out of hand, and the 13 and 283 is the number. Typically, down 3-1, you're going on the road for Game 5. And boom, you're done there. But even if you win there, you got to win Game 6 at home. And even if you win there, you got to go back to Game 7 on the road. And good luck. You're not getting out of that. You're the inferior team down 3-1, and you got to win. It's just bad for you. This is different because they lost the first two. They were the team with home court advantage. They were the higher seed. So down 3-1 always meant you still got 2 home games if you can take this thing to the extreme. So I hate one game at a time. Take it one game at a time. But in this situation, it is the way you wrap your head around it. If you start wrapping your head around, we have to beat this team 3 straight times, and teams that have been in this position are 13 and 283 all time, escaping the series, it becomes too much. It's just like, if I told you to fill out 1 sheet of paper at a doctor's office, you're like, all right, I'm going to knock this out. If I say, here's 40 sheets of paper you've got to fill out, you're like, oh my, it just feels overwhelming. Trying to win 3 straight games feels overwhelming. So don't think of it that way. Think of it this way. 1 game at a time. Where are we at now, right now? Down 3-1. Okay, Game 5. Where is that game being played? Tonight, at home. Are we favored in it? Yes, 4.5 points. So we're supposed to win this game. All right, then let's go do that. Let's go do that, and then let's talk again. Let's don't talk about anything else than what's in front of us. I hate 1 game at a time, but this is a place where you can apply it reasonably. Let's just focus on this, then let's talk after the game. Final buzzer. We're back in the locker room. All right, what's up now? It's 3-2 now. Okay, cool. That means Game 6, right? Yeah. Where's that one? Downtown Indianapolis, Saturday night. Are we favored? No. What's the point spread? 3.5. We're 3.5-point underdog. All right. So basically 1 possession game. That's what the betting markets say. Yeah. So what do we have to do to get this thing back here? We have to go win a game in downtown Indianapolis. Can we do that? We did it earlier in the week. We did it just a few days ago. And even if we're not expected to do it, they ain't expected to run us off the court. The number's 3.5. So all we got to do to get this thing back here now is do something we've already done. Yeah. All right, let's go do that. And we'll talk after the game. Go do it tomorrow? Now you know what? You go from heavy underdog down 3-1 to get out of the series. You go to bed Saturday night, check the betting markets. Guess who's favored to go to the NBA Finals? You win one. Don't think about we got to win 2 more to get out of the series. Think about we have to win tomorrow, and then we are favored to get out of this series. Yeah, we got to win 2 more to do it, but we only have to win 1 more to be favored in this series. 1 game at a time.
Yep.
I love everything about it.
Me too.
I love everything about it. Jessica Benson's in here next.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built for Tough studio. And on Fridays in the second segment, I'm joined by the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Weekdays, 8 a.m., Grind City Media. It's Jessica Benson. Hey, Jessica Benson,
Hi,
how are
Gary
you?
Parrish.
My condolences to your husband's car.
Thank you so much.
My condolences
When we
to
got
you.
married, what's his became mine.
Yeah.
Except for his last name.
Yeah, I know, right?
But other than that, it's our car.
You'll take half of his 401k, but never his last name.
Take mine. You'll take half of my 401k.
Oh,
Yeah, we're a one car household at the moment. Don't worry, he's getting a rental at 1.
Yeah.
So we're gonna live again.
How you holding up? Has this tested your resolve? Has your resolve been tested?
Yeah, I mean, I think inherently it tests your resolve
It tests
when
your
you wake
resolve.
up one morning and a car has disappeared from the place that you last left it.
It can test your resolve, and I mean this seriously. We'll get back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
joking
yeah,
around in
sure.
a minute, but I do have friends
Yes.
who, like you,
Yes.
love this city,
Yes.
care deeply about this city, and immerse themselves in the city.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about me. I live in the suburbs, baby. But I have friends who really feel like it is important for them not to just say I'm from Memphis, but to be in Memphis.
Yes.
And raise a family in Memphis, city proper. And sometimes some of them go, it's time to, I can't do this anymore. It's too much.
it tested us yesterday. I will, one joke, but also seriousness. It didn't happen downtown,
right?
Which
does
actually make us feel better.
No, and I think that is important.
It
honestly.
is, and
because this is the most important part of the city.
Thank you. And this is the part that gets the most. So this happens, and I'm like, oh God, people are going to assume that we were downtown. But if anyone knows us, we dog sit most of our time, so we're not living in our house all the time. However, I knew people were going to assume, she's always talking about how she doesn't have any issues downtown. Now their car's stolen. No, it did not happen downtown. It happened out east somewhere in a very, very nice neighborhood. But things happen, and it's so frustrating when it happens for a myriad of reasons. The process of trying to figure out what to do after a car is stolen is hard because it's stolen, so it's not gone yet, but the likelihood that it's not gonna, if it does return, it's not gonna be the car that you'll
never see that
loved.
thing.
You'll never see it the same way.
It'll never look the same.
It will never smell the same, probably. But then with the insurance, figuring out it's not like an accident. There's not just an easy, okay, you were in an accident. So now you're in this waiting period of, well, you have 7 days for them to look for the car. And then if they don't find the car, then you get really mad when you realize somebody stole something from you. And you are going to, the most likely outcome is have to buy a new car. And you are going to be out way more money than you ever expected.
Like you're hustling, I imagine this goes through your head at some point. Like you're hustling on the side with this dog sitting business and it just cost you money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like we are doing this to make a vacation feel easier. We do this we like the hustle. We like having the expendable income to go on nice vacations. We have very nice taste and we like to go do these things. And now we're like, oh great. Like Chris is gonna have to tap into his savings probably to go buy our savings to go buy a new car. So yeah, that part of it's hard. It takes away this feeling of safety, which is not something I expected. One, you're so grateful that you're not hurt, right? Like things could be a million times worse. It's not like we're held at knife point.
This is what I've told my oldest son. He drives obviously, and I like it sucks that we had these conversations. Yeah. But I'm just like, if you're at a gas station, if you're at a stop sign, if you're at a red light, if you ever get approached, you hand them the keys. You hand them your wallet. You hand them your phone. You ask them if they need anything else. You give them everything they want. You do not get confrontational. You do not fight back. You do not say no.
It's an
You
object.
hand over everything because everything you're going to give them, I can get you again, but I can't get you again.
Yes.
So that is like.
I remember. I mean, that's a lesson. I always think back to when my mom taught me things are things, and like yes, you value things, but nothing is more important than you. She had these big glass flower vases in our house, and I was running around and I hit one with my arm, and a piece of it broke off, and I was so scared to tell her. And
we had a broken vase last night.
There you go, and it meant it was her mom's. And so they were, something her mom had left for her, and her mom was no longer with us, and I'm just feeling horrible. And she goes, Jess, like, yes, please be more careful. It stinks that this happened, but you want to know what the most important thing in the world is to me? You. And things are things. And so understand, like having a true grasp of that is always important. Now, you can still be absolutely frustrated as hell when one of your very important things, and having a car and understanding what it's like to try to get us both to work this morning when I work weird hours and he works in a different place and all that goes into that. But you do lose this sense of just your safety. Like I did not sleep last night because my brain is going a million miles an hour. They stole a car. What if they came back and tried to break into this house?
But you know what?
That's not ours.
But here's what occurred to me, and I don't know if this occurred to you. It might just be so normal to you that you don't even think about it. But you know what stands out to me about this whole story? As I hear you tell the story this morning on your show, the thing that stood out to me most was, and Chris put his wheel lock on. Yeah. Why do you have a wheel lock?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Well, he has a Hyundai Elantra, so to make...
Yeah, no, I'm not even saying... I'm not questioning why. I know why he has a wheel lock. I understand it, but
why do you feel the need to even have a wheel lock to begin with?
Like, you're in a place...
where this happens.
Where you feel like you need to lock your wheel.
And like, yes, do I...
that's not a place where... let's just start right there.
Yes, that's not a great place to be. You're in a place where... So this car...
Except here's the point. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Any place where you feel compelled to lock your wheel is not a great place to be. And yet, relative to other places you could have been,
yes,
this is not the worst place. It's not even a bad place. It's just this is stuff that's happening.
Happens.
Yeah.
And like I went to USC, and for people who are unaware,
it's in downtown LA.
In downtown LA,
Right.
it's neighboring of Watts, and people would warn you all the time: don't walk here.
USC's
don't leave your
campus
car
is
here.
not UCLA's
don't
campus.
But you want to know what's so funny? This reminds me of me coming in here today and being like, "This didn't happen downtown.
Right.
It happened out there." The only incident I had in my 4 years at USC
was in Westwood.
Occurred on the UCLA campus. Was in Westwood, and somebody came up to me and looked like they were concealing a weapon, and I'll never know if it was. He said, "Give me your keys." And a police officer pops out and goes, "Leave her alone." And he runs. And it was so jarring. And then it ended, and I was like, wait, this isn't supposed to happen here. But it can happen anywhere, and there's no real like safe pockets in this world. I don't know. It is Chris's inherited car from his deceased father. His grandma died, gave the car to his dad. His dad died, gave the car to Chris. It's really the only thing that he had. And so like his grandma's seat cushion is in there, and his dad's seat covers are there. And so it means something to him too. But why are we sitting there making jokes last night? Like, God, if only your dad could have willed you a Honda. Like, why did it have to be a Hyundai Elantra of all cars? But that's why he has a wheel lock, and that's why we are here. And yet I will continue to sit here and be passionate about living in Memphis, and I'll get back up and drive, and I'll walk, and I'll run, and I'll do all the things because that's what we do. And also just a reminder, like, I hate to be that person, but we did sit down at breakfast as we finished our police report experience and got ready for the rest of the day and insurance calls, and said, like, just how sad is it that there's people out there whose activity, and I don't think these people stole I would feel better if they stole the car because they needed a car to go out and do things, but it probably was stolen for a joyride and a smoke out and all the things that we normally see. But just how sad is it that is something that is cool and done regularly in the city, and all of the situations that lead to that being a thing. And until we get to all the situations that lead to that, people are going to keep having their cars stolen here every day.
I hate that it happens to anybody.
Yeah.
I especially hate that it happened to you guys, and not because you're my friends, and not because it's more devastating for you than it would be for other people, because I don't want to speak out of turn, but I imagine you got car insurance, and like this is not going to be like
right. The frustration of them having to buy a new car stinks.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, he's getting a rental car. It's taken care of by insurance.
Right. What I mean by that is, like, there's another scenario where you get your car stolen, you don't have insurance, and like it's like
worse.
I don't even know what to do now.
You can't replace your car.
I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm just done being in a vehicle for.
And then how do you get to work?
Right.
Or how do you get home? Or how do you do this?
So, what I mean when I say I hate that it happened to you, I don't mean any of those things. I hate that it happened to you guys because you're the people trying to tell everybody else that this place is
a part of me thought about not talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, truly. A part of me thought about
I see these
not
stories all the
saying
time.
anything.
I'd struggle with this because I see these stories all the time, and I go, man, that's a crazy story. And then I go, but do I want to be the person sharing that story?
Yes.
Because it reinforces stereotypes that are very much in place.
Yes.
Like, there's a perfect example, and now that we're taught, just tell the story.
Yeah.
But this is a story I saw maybe 2 days ago, and I was like, you know me, I'm always like, man, you won't believe this story. And I love to tell you about stuff you just won't believe, just the wackiness of stuff. Yeah. And I read this story, and I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, but I'm not going to be the one to tell this any further than it's already been told, because it just reinforces. But now I'm going to tell it to you just because we're talking about this stuff. Here's the story. I'm just going to read it straight.
Okay.
A guy named Bo, I don't want to get too named. A guy named Bo, this is the way the story reads, was shot to death inside of his home in Midtown in July of 2022.
I read the story.
All right? Like, I couldn't even believe I'm reading this story. So a guy named Bo shot to death in his home in Midtown, July 2022. Less than a year later, his older brother was also shot and killed in basically the same Midtown type of area, I gather. All right? And the only reason I'm reading about this is because earlier in the week, this car that was left similarly to a teenager.
With the golf clubs in it.
With his dad's golf clubs in it.
Yeah.
And it was stolen out of their driveway. Yeah. And they're like, whatever with the car, but my son is a golfer who uses his dad's clubs, and his father and then his father, who was murdered, is with him in some sort of way, and you just took that out of our driveway. And that whole story just broke my heart.
Yeah.
But, like, this is a family who's just trying to make their home here, and it's just like, oh, yeah, Dad got murdered.
Yeah.
That's
the extreme.
Uncle Bo got murdered, and now our
extreme.
car got stolen. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So
Talk about testing a resolve.
That's what I mean, is that I love this place as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Even if I don't show it as much as you.
Yeah.
I do care about this place, and I want great things for this place, but I do have concerns sometimes.
It's hard.
My resolve can be tested as well.
I mean, it happened, and my instinct was, Chris, you can't tell your mom.
Yeah.
He was like, I have to tell my mom.
Because she'll say, you got to get out of there.
No, you can't tell your mom.
Would she say that? I don't want to speak for Chris's mom.
Yeah. I mean, it would amplify concerns that she has. Our parents are very supportive of us and understand the lives that we've built here, and they've visited many a times and enjoyed it. My parents have probably spent a little bit more time here, and they have become like super stands for the city. True story. My dad was golfing a couple weeks ago, and he was paired with, you know how it goes. He shows up as a solo, he gets paired with a group, and they're just chatting and talking, and they start talking about their kids, and my dad says, oh yeah, my daughter, she lives in Memphis, she works for the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm so proud of her. And the guy goes, your daughter lives in Memphis? Where does she live?
Right.
And he goes, she lives downtown, and she loves it. And he goes, I cannot believe you let your daughter live in downtown Memphis. Well, I'm 33 years old. Like, my dad's not letting me live anywhere, let's be perfectly clear. But he was so angry at this person's take on Memphis, and he proceeds to give the whole spiel of, well, actually, it's great, and have you been here, and all of this, and it totally soured the rest of the round, and they didn't really speak after that. But that is the kind of thing that, you know, for someone who's not from here, when you have family, your family starts to fight for it. Or, like, we just had family in town, Chris's aunt and uncle visited, and they were saying they had friends who, when they said they were going to Memphis for the weekend, the answer was, why?
Yeah.
Like, be careful, make sure, I hope you're strapped up when you go to Memphis.
That's the thing,
and so then Chris and I went on our spiel again, like, oh no, actually, you know, we live downtown, let us show you this. And we had a wonderful weekend with them. And he's like, God, I can't tell them what happened.
I know, like, we can't even talk about this.
I can't tell them what just ended up happening to me. So anyway, it stinks. Car thefts happen. I wish that they didn't. I wish that they didn't happen here. But you can find me still reminding people that it's a product of living in a city that I wish wasn't a product of living in a city. Memphis is not unique. Like, I had a friend who had their car stolen in LA when we lived there. I had a friend who had their car stolen in Chicago. Weird stuff happens in big cities all the time. Does it make it comforting? No, and I would love for us to have less of it and get into some of those root problems that lead to it, but yeah, we'll be okay.
Let me tell you a good story about Memphis. Yeah. A story when a car wasn't stolen.
Yeah. Oh, is this yours?
Because
you thought it was?
I have filed a police report for a stolen car before.
That's absolutely crazy.
It's going to be even dumber when you hear the story. So I used to live at the Gayosa house.
Okay.
All right. And it was me and Corey Brannon, and I worked at Commercial Pill at the time, and we were at the Saucer basically every night. Our friends ran it. The servers were our friends. Like, these are the people we hung out with, and we were there basically.
The unofficial bar and grill of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt.
We were basically there every night. I spent multiple years of my life at the Saucer 6 nights a week.
Wow.
Something like that. So.
Do you have a plate?
No, I never even attempted.
That's crazy.
No, I would just give me a pint of Stella and let's just do it like that. I just drink Stellas 5,000 in a row. Never even attempted to get the plate.
Wow.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
You're just drinking Stella in Memphis
all night,
and I love Stella.
Yeah.
But there's so many good local beers, Gary. Let me stump for Memphis some more and let you know about all the breweries.
Jess, just so you know, this is 25 years ago.
Sorry, it hadn't exploded yet. You didn't have a skydiving from Winesacre.
The brewery scene was a little different.
My bad.
25 years. This is literally 25 years ago.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we lived at the Gayoso house. And our bar was the Saucer. And the parking garage above the Saucer was where we parked our cars. And we had assigned parking spots the whole day.
Yeah.
So my spot was like spot 9 or something. It was on, like, you pull into the parking garage and pull right down right. For multiple years, you pulled it there, you were going to see my car every time. So this is so sad. In the spirit of, let's get to the bar as quickly as possible after work, I was trying to cut corners.
Okay.
Corey was a musician, so he could be at the bar. He'd probably already bet the bar.
He's already there.
He'd been there for 6 hours.
Okay.
I just got off work. What is the best way to make sure I can get to the bar as quickly as possible? It's not to go park my car above the saucer,
No.
then walk to the Gayoso house, shower, change, and then go back to the saucer. The smartest thing I could do to be efficient is park in this alley.
11 alley parking.
At the right by the door of the Gayoso house, run up, shower, change, jump back in my car, go park it. Now I'm right above the saucer, go down, boom. I just saved a lot of, maybe 4 minutes,
Yeah.
all right? But it meant it was important at the time. So park in the alley, go up, take a shower, and head straight to the saucer. We have a night, however that night goes, and then wake up the next morning to go back to work and go to my parking spot, and I'm like,
Where's my car?
where's my car, man? And I'm like, it's gone. It wasn't even like maybe I'm on a different floor. This is my floor. This is my spot. My car's not here. Holy God. I can't believe this actually happened. 911, is it an emergency? Not really, but I don't know who else to call, but my car's been stolen.
Yeah.
Where you at? Boom, boom, boom. Cops come. And I mean, they take the whole, I mean, they got the whatever you had 25 years ago, they had it. Clipboards.
No.
So, full name, and give them full name. So, what time did you park your car here? I was like, well, I got off work, got off work around 5:30 or so, and then was just coming home, and then, oh shit. They're like, what?
Oh my God.
I said, walk with me for a
That's what
second.
happened to me.
And my car is sitting in the alley.
Damn.
Hazard lights still blinking from the night before. It was just there.
What'd they say?
You're not the first person who's done this.
I was convinced my car got stolen from the airport parking lot because, and the only reason I even thought of this being an option is remember when we did our nice long trip back from Las Vegas, Summer League, after the airlines canceled and the blackout and everything that happened. Now that's just a Tuesday. But we get back and we had to drop the rental car off at the Memphis airport. So we were there at like 1 a.m. and there's no one there. And so you're there to drop it off. And there were people in there stealing, like we watched it. Like we watched someone run, hop in a car, speed out like 90 miles per hour. So none of this is in my brain that, you could get your car stolen at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
We have a trip maybe a couple weeks later. We come back. I cannot find my car. And I'm like, it happened to us.
Yeah.
I forgot what floor.
Yeah, that's why
It was just in the wrong one.
airport.
I write it down. I write it down every time.
No. I've got I have told other people this.
Okay.
And they have they've implemented the plan into their own life.
Yeah.
And it's 2 thumbs up every time. Here's what you do at Memphis International. From a million miler. I'm not trying to brag about being an absentee father every winter.
Ask your kids. How do they feel about you being a million miler, Gary?
They send you a plaque and a little thing, and it's like,
I know.
congratulations.
My dad got one. I'm a child of a million miler.
I know, and they're like, congratulations. I'm like, this is not something you should be proud of. All this means is you're not home enough.
Yeah.
That's all this means.
This means you spend a ridiculous amount of time on an airplane.
Like, what's your status with Marriott? It just means you're not home enough.
But you should appreciate it while you have it. My dad's retired now. He'd tell you, But you get that status forever. So.
I'll be a million miler forever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's as a million miler, as someone who is at that airport more than most.
Yes.
Here's what you do. You don't even think about it. You drive into the parking garage, economy.
Yes.
Economy. There's no sense in paying $17 a day when you can pay $9.
I'm sorry. As long as you have legs.
Yeah, as long as you have legs.
Don't want to be an ableist here, but as long as you have legs.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest airport parking in the country.
And it's one of those where it's one of those situations where I guess I could park up here, but it's just like at some point
it's a 5-minute more walk.
That's right. At some point you're just being a jerk.
Yes.
To not park in economy parking.
Yes.
You're just being a jerk, or you have too much money or something.
I dream of having enough money where I'm like, yes, let me pay $10 more a day so that I have a 5-minute less walk.
Right. Like
That's crazy.
Right. And that's where I'm at. Like, even if you can afford it, don't do it and take the money you're saving and donate it to somebody.
Yeah.
But don't
that's
just
beautiful.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for calling my ideas beautiful. Here's what you do.
Altruistic.
Here's what you do. You pull into the economy parking, you don't think. You drive straight to the top.
Yeah.
You drive straight to the top
but
floor.
what if there's weather?
It's fine.
Yeah, but then your car takes a beating outside.
You don't even have a car.
I have a car. Hey now. Hey now.
Oh, suddenly you're worried about the sun on your car.
I have a car. No, I'm worried about.
Are you worried that the sun will fade your wheel lock?
No, my car's also from 2016, so I don't have any of my own.
I don't care about the weather.
I don't drive a Tesla, Gary.
If it's raining, or it's whatever it is, I don't mind it. I'll get through that.
And you just park on the roof.
But here's what I know: there are always going to be spots on the roof.
And you can always find your car.
And you can always find your car. There's always spots.
You're not
if you
wrong.
try to drive around floor 2, it's like, where's a spot?
Yeah.
Oh, there are none, and I just drove around for 3 minutes.
You're right.
Go straight to the top.
Yes.
There's always going to be spots. When you come back home, you never have to go, what floor was I on? You never have to remember to take a picture. You know I'm straight at the top.
That's true.
It has simplified my life. It is the best decision
I do it often.
I've made in the past decade.
But to be fair, my husband told me to stop doing it, but he just got his car stolen.
Yeah,
so why am I taking
Why are we listening to him?
Chris?
Why are we listening to Chris Luther? I'm not going to listen to Chris Luther about where to park a car. Last time he parked the car.
No, okay, I can't do that. No, that's so messed up. That's so messed up on me because he parked the car and he goes, Jess, if you just pulled in, now we're getting to the weeds here. Jess, if you just pulled in a little bit further, we could both park in the driveway that's like up and has some like shading around it. And I was like, okay, we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh. Has he held it over your head?
Just a little bit. It's just in the immediacy of it. Like when it first happens.
Because here's what happens. People say you're not supposed to blame your significant other, but sometimes it's just.
But then I fought back and said, okay, if it was that important to you, we could have done it. And then it ended. What I will say, this was a reminder, and I'm so grateful that we both operate this way. Like, we are very much a don't get caught up in the, like, yes, it's terrible, but you got to just start trying to fix it.
Right.
Like, we had, like, our 30-minute pity party, and he was mad, and I was sad, and I was
my
frustrated.
pity parties are more like 3 hours.
See, we're pretty, I don't know what it is about us, but we're very adaptable quickly. Obviously not everything. Like, there's way more important stuff than getting your car stolen, but it very much turns into okay, let's start this process. Let's get going. But in the immediacy of it, it was, well, if I had moved it back, maybe they wouldn't have taken it. And I was like, oh no. Well, if I hadn't come help you take everything out of the car last night, you would have had some stuff in the car left over and would have brought it in the next day. So all the thieves got, recycling. Hope they took it.
I doubt it. I doubt that was high on their list.
We really try. We try to recycle for this city.
It's tough.
Can I give one shout out for the city? Because now I feel like bad that I've had to put a stain on Memphis. It's trolley night tonight downtown. And if you've never done a trolley night, it really is the most fun. And
I've done a trolley night. You ever done a trolley night, Bill?
Yeah, there was trolleys there though.
Yeah, it's a little sadder. They're doing makeshift trolleys, like golf carty style, because it's just not the same.
I don't know if I love that.
Bring back. Where's the camera?
Freaking trolleys
Bring back
going.
the trolleys, Matta. Thank you. Bring back the trolleys. You can't have a trolley night if there aren't trolleys. But they do all sorts of stuff. And I saw the Devour desserts, which I don't know if you've had their cheesecakes. Phenomenal. They're doing Dunkaroos. They're doing like chocolate chip cookie bar Dunkaroos with like a chocolate sauce.
I love that. Everything you just said, I love.
I see people all the time like, I didn't know this happened in Memphis. So here I am telling people.
Also,
trolley night. Awesome. Dunkaroos. Go.
Long as we're telling stories, Italian Fest.
Also this weekend.
Yeah.
Have never been.
Oh, it's a blast.
It is a festival
you gotta go
that
check
I have
out
not.
Italian Fest.
Maybe we'll go.
I'm going.
I think you gotta go check out Italian Fest.
Is it tonight?
It was yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I believe.
Okay, how does it work? Do I need to buy tickets ahead of time?
My lifelong buddy, like literally grew up across the street from me. Scott Maines, grew up across the street from me. Was my babysitter at some point when I was a child.
Okay.
Is also one of my best friends in the world.
He got a tent?
Yes, it's Mama Biantini. It's in honor of his late grandmother.
Awesome.
Okay.
And he's had the team for as long as I can remember. And I have aged out of festivals. Like I don't need them anymore. Like when I go, I have a good time, but I don't need it. There's nothing about me that wants to go.
Okay.
To almost anything anymore. I'm just happy being at home. I don't need to do anything.
Okay. But
I go out of not obligation, but I feel like I need to be. Not that I need.
Sounds like an obligation.
I'm messing this up badly. I don't feel like I need to. I know
you enjoy going. And you have a reason.
I know this means everything to him.
Yeah, so it means something to you. There you go.
It means something to me because it means everything to him.
Okay.
So it is probably the only festival I still go to annually anymore. And if it weren't for him, I don't think I would go because I would just sit at home and watch baseball.
Okay.
But because of him, I will go, and we'll have a blast.
I think we're going to go
Do
today.
you eat? How do you eat?
With your mouth, Jess.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Garrett. God, that's my favorite mansplaining answer I've ever
That was
received.
extremely mansplaining.
No, because like at
you text me.
Do you have to know
whatever
somebody?
you want? No, there's going to be food trucks out there, and if you want to eat, drink, that's all out there. But is it better to be
to know somebody?
Is it better to know somebody?
Okay.
Yes, but guess what? I got good news for both of you.
We know somebody.
You know somebody.
That's great news.
I like Italian Fest because
I like to know somebody.
It's like it's a smaller festival.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do too much walking.
Yeah.
It's just all in Marquette Park. Like it's all pretty close. So yeah, it's a good one. As a former Sea Isle Park resident, I always support.
It's been a minute since I would want to go, like just independent of everything. Let's go. It's a festival.
Yeah.
But I go because I feel like I should. Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm trying to say, even if I'm not said
You're
it.
bumbling it a bit, but that's okay.
Oh, it feels like it. I have a good time every time.
Okay.
I'll have a good time when I'm there, and if y'all are there, y'all will have a good time while you're there. You know somebody.
Okay.
$15 tickets. I can do that.
Is it $15 to get in?
$15 to get in.
Yeah, it's cheap. Italian Fest is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it then.
$15.
Y'all want to go to Italian Fest?
Yeah.
When are you going?
Oh, Bennett, I don't know.
Are you going today or tomorrow?
Today for sure.
Oh, good. Okay.
Today for sure. Tomorrow's baseball, Jess.
Yeah. Tomorrow's pool.
What are you talking about? Tomorrow's baseball.
Tomorrow's delayed pool from Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
Got a lot of pools rescheduled.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's call it 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Is that too early for you? Is that too late for you, Bennett? Is it too late for you? Too early for you?
I mean, it might be too late, but we'll hang around.
You think that's too late?
Well, I'm bringing the kiddo.
It might be too early. It might be too early for me.
I'm taking the kid. So
we might overlap.
You guys.
How long are you going to be there? We can do this off air.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
We can figure this out.
I suggested to my family a window of 4 to 8.
Oh, that's great.
It felt like a reasonable window.
Yeah.
But I could expand it.
No.
Shrink it.
We
What do I need to do? You tell me what I need to do.
I'm like thinking like 6.
You're the one down to one car,
I'm
not
thinking
me.
like 6. We're going to have 2 cars. Chris is going to have his rental.
Okay.
They said, do you have a preference on your rental car? And he's like, oh, no, I just whatever's covered. And then overnight, he's like, well, I mean, I guess I have a preference.
You could have had a preference.
So we called him back this morning. He said, I was asked if I have a preference, and I realized after thinking about it.
I do.
I'd love to know my options. She goes, no, I just meant, like, do you want a full-size vehicle? He goes, yeah, I want a full-size vehicle.
Sure.
She goes, that's your only option.
What does it come with a wheel lock?
What the hell?
You got to get a new wheel lock now, too.
That's true.
You
And we
didn't even
just
think
bought a
about
new
this.
wagon. We're a big swaggin family. We call it a swaggin, but it's our wagon for our groceries and other things. And as dog sitters, we often have things that we're taking in and out of houses. So
Do you have a wagon? A grocery wagon?
Yeah.
No.
Came from our local news days.
I thought I had everything.
No, I
don't have a grocery wagon.
You should have a wagon.
I like to try
For
to
what?
carry all the bags
So
in
do
at the
I.
same time
this
and look
saves
strong.
You put them all in. I mean, we live in a building,
Yeah.
and so we have to go to the elevator and go up.
I
so
understand
it would be even more difficult. But we started doing it. I used to have it. If you see your local news heroes, 'cause that's what they are, out and about.
Yeah.
They'll put their camera and their tripod in a wagon so that you don't have to carry it around, because suddenly you have the back of an 85-year-old and you're 25 making negative $2.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want to protect your back.
I understand that.
So, so we started using the wagon for that, and now we use it for everything. And our original wagon broke finally.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Yeah.
She lasted like 10 years.
That's
And
pretty
this
good life. That's
wagon-
pretty good life expectancy
This wagon was
for a
like
wagon.
3 months
Oh no.
in the trunk of the car with the recycling.
This is tough, man. I think you're gonna make it through it.
Do you think insurance will cover the wagon?
Yes, I actually do.
Probably.
That's
I actually
good.
do.
Explain what it's for.
Like I believe this is true. Like if your car gets stolen with golf clubs in it,
They replace.
yeah.
Okay.
Or they'll say
subsidize.
they'll say how much were your golf clubs.
Yeah.
And you'll say however much they were, and they'll put that in the check. I think that's true.
Okay.
So you don't need to take advice from me.
Okay.
But if you want to say you had really expensive golf clubs in the trunk, if you're comfortable committing insurance fraud.
No, we are not. I'm getting interviewed.
You're not
I am
comfortable.
I'm supposed to get a call.
You're not
in,
comfortable
like,
committing insurance fraud?
No, I want to be on the record. They're calling me in 15 minutes for my interview. I get interviewed as a part of this. They scheduled it. So no, I am not committing insurance fraud. We had a wagon and recycling in the trunk. That is all.
And a laptop.
And the memories of Chris's father and
Hey,
grandmother,
I'm
and
not-
those are irreplaceable.
I'm not trying to push you down a road you're not comfortable with. Your insurance claim, your choice. Your insurance claim, your choice. All right? It's your insurance claim, it's your choice.
Thank you.
But if you want me to hold that ring on your finger, put it in my pocket, and you can pretend it was sitting in your wagon in your trunk.
Oh no, it fell off.
I accidentally put
Where's my iPad?
I accidentally put my wedding ring and my diamond earrings in my wagon.
Oh shoot!
And
I hate when I put my diamond earrings in my wagon.
Your insurance claim.
Yeah,
it's your choice.
I'm just gonna
your insurance claim, your choice. But
I'm gonna stay on the straight and narrow on this one. I don't want to risk any bad karma either.
It's only fraud if you get caught.
It's only fraud if you get caught.
We're talking about it.
I know, but then on Fox News they talk about stuff all the time,
That's
and
true.
then they get taken to court, and they're
and
like,
then the Grizzlies are out of jail.
Yeah.
So maybe I could be. The
this is what Fox News does. They
That's
talk.
true.
They just say all these wild stuff, and then somebody says, "Yo, man, you can't say that. That's crazy."
There's a little
and then they get
in the fine print
and
where
then they
it's
go
like, this is entertainment,
and
not
then they
real.
No, they genuinely this is real. They go to court.
Yeah,
and
they
you know
win.
what their defense is? We didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Everybody knew we didn't.
It's literally in their fine print.
We didn't mean what we were saying.
Yeah, that's
so that we'll just
it's
pull
an entertainment show.
We'll just play that card.
Okay.
But Jess, we heard you.
We've never been serious on
We
this
heard
show.
you on the Gary Parrish show talk about you only had recycling.
The Gary Parrish show. Bennett doesn't even know the capital of Minnesota.
Yeah, we're just playing around in there. We're just goofing around. I wouldn't worry about this. I wouldn't worry about this. It's your insurance claim. It's your choice.
Thank you.
But I got ideas if you want them. Okay. Put it in the Algeria Strong Group text.
Okay.
Along with our Italian Fest plans.
Put our
I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, you're still calling her she?
Wow.
Just kidding. I told you I was playing around.
A different world since the Olympics last summer. I remember when we were a proper country.
Canceled. You're canceled.
Yeah, I want to be out of the frame on that.
Yeah.
I'm still a member of an Algeria Strong Group text.
You are.
For now. All right, I think we can leave it right there. I think we could probably leave it right there.
I gotta go walk some dogs to make some money to pay for a car.
Good luck. Good luck. Hope your dog doesn't get stolen. That's next.
Don't say that.
You know that's next.
Don't say that.
Lady Gaga's dogs got stolen.
Oh my God, stop.
Be
Don't give me
careful.
one more thing
Yeah, and they
to worry
shot the
about.
dog walker too.
What the?
Yeah, they did.
You can Google it. You can Google that.
They shot the dog walker and stole her dogs.
You can Google that. You can Google that. That's a real story.
Yeah.
That's a real story.
Okay.
I just hope you're walking an inexpensive dog. I hope it ain't a Frenchie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're gonna die today.
Yeah,
it's over for Jess.
Good luck.
It's over for Jess.
See ya.
It's over for you. It's over for you.
All right.
When we go to break, give me a hug so I can say goodbye.
Let's take a break and say our
never made it to
goodbyes.
Italian.
I want to give you your proper goodbyes.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.
All right.
The people with Chris's car are watching the show right now, plotting my murder.
And if Chris is watching this, just know, buddy, anything you need, I'm going to be here for
He's
you.
there for you.
I know
That's
he's got a
nice.
strong support
That's
system
sweet.
and stuff, but I'm going to be here
that's
for
really
him.
Sweet. Thank you.
Hey, you had a hell of a run.
It was good.
You did more
I'll
in
go
30
down. I'll go down fighting for this city.
You did more in
I'll
30
say it could happen anywhere.
As you're bleeding out.
It could happen anywhere.
She's bleeding out.
I'm in the suburbs.
She's bleeding out on Poplar. Dog's gone. Wheel lock's gone.
I'll stay
Wagon's
committed.
gone.
I'll stay committed till the end.
She'll be like, this could have happened in Nashville. All right. I think we've done
Goodbye.
enough. I think we've done enough here. When we come back, among other things, we'll talk about Charlie Baker, NCAA president, suggesting that the NCAA tournament will expand sooner rather than later. Can't wait to discuss that. It's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Last week, I gave you the update about my son Kevin in terms of having
Has he
to
made
choose.
the decision?
He picked Tennessee State.
Oh, my heart, Mike.
The next day, we got an email from the director of Tuskegee's program laying out everything that they were going to be doing, and he flip-flopped.
There we go.
He flip-flopped. So he's going to be going down to Tuskegee.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on GrindCityMedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today. The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jaron with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
That's no show. Let's go.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. And I should say special shouts to Ortho South. I had my first physical therapy appointment yesterday, Bennett.
Oh, how was that?
Excellent. Everybody was great. I went in feeling pretty good. I came out feeling better. I will tell you, I don't know how much I can trust you when you talk about physical therapy going forward. Because you said it was relaxing.
I thought I like it. I liked it.
I was not relaxed. I was working.
Yeah, I mean, I worked a little bit, but then at the end, they hooked me up to that machine for like 20 minutes, and that was awesome.
That's what I want to do.
I fell asleep on the little table.
The way you had described physical therapy to me, you were like, it's going to be relaxing. You'll love it. And I thought, okay, Bennett, I thought I was just going to get to lay on a table, like face down.
Oh, no, you got to work a little bit
with
before
some
the
candles.
table. Yeah, you got to work
I thought
a
they
little
were
bit
going to
before
turn
the
on
table.
candles and and nice instrumental music, and they were just going to hook me up to stuff, and it would just be like, just lay here, GP. Just lay here. Close your eyes if you want to. And the machines will take care of everything else. That's the way you had made it seem in my head.
No, you got to work a little bit to get to the machine.
Buddy, I was on an exercise bike.
Yeah, I was on an exercise bike too for a little bit, yeah.
I just wanted to lay there.
Yeah.
I want to go to physical therapy, but I don't want to actually work.
Turns out movement's a part of physical therapy.
I don't like
Who
that.
would have thought?
I don't like that. I don't like that part of physical therapy.
Yeah.
I don't like the part where you got to do stuff. I like the part that you said was relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get there.
Okay.
Special shouts to Ortho South. They were great. They were great. Can't wait to go back. I'll see them on Tuesday. Got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
NCAA President Charlie Baker said he wants to see a decision on NCAA tournament expansion soon. And if asked for the likely outcome of this, it seems to be that we're going to expand from 68 teams to 72 teams. And it could happen by as early as 2026. For years, this has been speculated on. It is always felt inevitable, but this is an example of, like, quite literally the NCAA president saying, yeah, we're headed there, and it's probably not going to be too far away. Do you care? Because this is a thing, and maybe it's just a thing basketball people talk about, but this is a thing people have incredibly intense feelings about one way or another.
I don't hate it just because, and this is like just selfishly, I don't hate it because, as a fan of a team like Memphis that's in a league that most years is probably going to be teetering around one bid, I think it may give them a chance to not be that. I think,
Let me stop you.
Yeah.
Nope. You're going to get 15 SEC teams.
Okay. Well, yeah.
It'll be 15 SEC teams and 12 Big 12 teams. That's what you're going to get. Expansion, those slots, more often than not, I'll just put it, because what you're suggesting is not impossible. Certainly, if, let's just take it 68-team bracket, you fill out all the at-larges, and there's a scenario where, let's just say UAB is the first team out under the current format. Well, under the expanded format, they would be in, right? So, yeah, it could be UAB or South Florida or Wichita State some years. More often, it's going to be an SEC or Big 12 school.
Well, then the other argument for that, I think, would be maybe, again, this is looking at it from a Memphis perspective, is maybe it will make these Power 5 schools less scared to play a better non-conference schedule. Like maybe they will be more willing to play home and home with a Memphis just because, listen.
You got a little more leeway.
Yeah.
Wiggle room, as
we're
they
going to
say.
be able to get in.
Yeah.
We can take some more bumps.
All of that is possible, and I think will be a reality in some places. I don't know that it'll be the norm, but it could happen. Here's where I'm at on this, because typically on this topic, you're going to have people who say you cannot expand, it'll ruin the sport. And then other people who will say there's 360 teams in Division I. We should have more than 68 playing in the big tournament at the end. That's why you expand. And people dig their feet in, and now let's argue, and nobody ever changes anybody's mind. And I, for a while, have been somewhere in the middle of both of those things. It's a nuanced opinion on it. Surprise, surprise. Do I think college basketball needs NCAA tournament expansion? No. Bad teams or average teams get in every year. We have never left, you ready for this? Literally never left a team capable of winning the national championship out of the NCAA tournament. Certainly not since it expanded to 64 teams in 1985. For your entire life, Bennett, we have never left a team capable of winning the title out of the bracket. All right? So anybody who's telling you we need to expand, they're lying to you. We don't need to expand. In fact, there's probably more arguments not to expand than there are to expand, because there is a scenario where it does cheapen the regular season. Yeah, it creates a little more wiggle room, but it also creates more space for mediocre teams. The bubble gets worse. Like right now, on March 1st, you pull up a bubble watch and you'll say, oh, this team's in the bracket right now? Last four in? My God, they stink. All right? That will just get worse. It'll be even worse teams on the right side of the bubble heading into championship week.
Yep.
We don't need this. All we are going to do is put four. If we go to 72, here's what we will do. We will put four more average teams in a bracket. That's it. It'll create some more games. But in reality, it's just moving the pass-fail bar a little bit further this way and putting more average teams in the tournament than we had before. That's all we're doing. The arguments for it is, why not give more young people an opportunity to play on the stage? In reality, it's like eventually this is going to be a moneymaker, because in most sports, the more postseason you have, the more lucrative it can be. If you ever want to know why Major League Baseball expands playoffs, NBA expands playoffs, it's all because you can. I promise you, if they had a playoff game to put on tonight, they'd love to do it. These things make lots of money. So that's the real motivation in all of this. The counter argument is we're just cheapening the bubble, lessening it. Why are we doing this? Here's where I'm at. I don't think we need it. In fact, I'm just explaining to you why we don't. I also don't think it'll be devastating for the sport, because the people who insist we can't do this followed up with, because it'll ruin the sport, kill the sport. Okay. Tell me any other sport that's been ruined, quote, ruined. That's the word they use, ruined by postseason expansion. Can you name one? You can't, because it doesn't exist.
No. I mean, college football is as big as it's ever been.
Literally big as it's ever been.
Yeah, and they're going to expand it again, and it's probably going to be bigger.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Major League Baseball has expanded.
Yep.
Hasn't killed anything. NBA playoffs have expanded. It hasn't ruined anything. The NFL playoffs have expanded. It didn't ruin anything. The World Cup has expanded. Still the biggest tournament in the world. this is where I just lose people every time. When you say something, but you can't back it up with anything to support it. If you expand the NCAA tournament, it'll ruin the sport. Okay, cool. Interesting. Has it ever ruined any other sport? Give me some examples of when this happened, then this happened that you're saying is going to happen. Oh, so you can't really say. So you have no examples of postseason expansion ruining a sport, but you're certain this is the time it's going to happen. No. It might lessen the sport a little, maybe. Lessen the regular season a little, I guess. I'm not dismissive of that. But playoff expansion has never ruined anything. It just hasn't. We're watching the NBA playoffs now. We can't wait for the NFL playoffs. Postseason baseball is incredible. They've all been expanded. None of them have been ruined. So do we need it? No, we do not need it. But if we get it, is it going to ruin the sport? No, it's not going to ruin the sport. So I think the two sides on the extremes are both wrong. There's one side that says we need this. No, you don't. And the other side says we don't need this because it'll ruin the sport. Yeah. No, it won't. We don't need it. I'll give you that. But is it going to ruin the sport? No, it's not going to ruin the sport. It's going to put 4 more average teams into a bracket you'll probably barely notice.
Number 2.
Interesting conversation between Howard Bryant, longtime sports reporter, and Bob Costas, where Howard Bryant detailed to Costas that his reporting has unveiled that while at Duke for one season, Cooper Flagg had contracts, NIL contracts. Have you seen this story?
No, I haven't.
Totaling how much money? How much money
did Cooper Flagg make in college?
I'm saying this very intentionally in a very specific way. Because it's not clear that he made all this money in his 1 year of college. But while Cooper Flagg was a student at Duke, he had contracts.
Okay.
Totaling X amount of money. Like, you are going to get paid this amount of money over some period of time. The contracts are signed and sealed and locked in. While he was leading Duke to the Final Four and winning the Wooden Award, youngest Wooden Award winner ever, he had contracts totaling how much money?
I'll say, I'll say $8 million.
You missed it by 20. $28 million.
Jeez, that's insane.
$28 million.
He's already rich.
According to Howard Bryant, he had a $13 million deal with New Balance and a $15 million deal with Fanatics. Now, the reason I framed it the way I framed it is because it's not clear that those were 1 year deals. Those could be 3 year deals.
Yeah, I got you.
Where you're under contract for your 1 year of college in the first 2 years of your NBA career, something like that. But what I'm telling you is true, according to Howard Bryant. Cooper Flagg had $28 million worth of contracts while at Duke.
That's crazy.
And it shows you how crazy it was when people tried to tell you, barely any of these kids are going to be worth anything. Do you remember people used to say that? Doug Gottlieb used to say that.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah, but how many are really going to be worth anything?
A lot.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
That play the sports we care about, almost all of them. I mean,
that's insane.
PJ Haggerty is somebody nobody even had ever heard of 2 years ago. Now he's out there asking for $4 million, getting in excess of $2 reportedly. All right? Cooper Flagg had $28 million in contracts. The money is everywhere. For decades, they tried to tell us these young people aren't worth anything. Ask Fanatics if they are. Ask New Balance if they are. Ask FedEx, AutoZone if they are. The money it was always there, ready to be thrown around if you just allow them to do it. Now they're allowed, and Cooper Flagg's got more money than most.
Number 3.
Interesting story involving the Big 12 and the WWE. They are extending a partnership that will bring WWE Friday Night SmackDown to Big 12 markets the night before Saturday college football games. So we're light on the specifics, but think of it in this way. Kansas and Iowa State are playing football Saturday afternoon in Lawrence, Kansas. On Friday night, SmackDown's originating from Allen Fieldhouse, right? Baylor is hosting Texas Tech on Saturday night in prime time. On Friday night, SmackDown will originate from Baylor's basketball arena in Waco. I like it.
Dude, this, like, I'm extremely jealous of this. Like,
you realize there's a world where we could be in the Big 12.
I know.
And we could have Memphis against you name it.
Dude, this is going to be so huge for their league because, like, think about it.
Memphis and Iowa State Saturday night, Simmons Bank, and on Friday night at FedEx Forum, it's SmackDown.
And think about how many people that don't.
Wish we were in the Big 12.
Think about how many people that don't give a crap about that game that will tune into it just because the night before Logan Paul and whoever are like talking trash like about Iowa State or Kansas State or whatever. Like, yeah, it will create a buzz that otherwise wouldn't be there for the game.
If nothing else, it will do this. Because there are millions of people, I would assume, that will watch wrestling and don't really care much about college football. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, it will make millions of people who otherwise wouldn't even know you're playing a football game tomorrow, that there is a football game in this city tomorrow. If nothing else, it just spreads awareness, makes it more visible. And this is a byproduct of Brett Yormark, the Big 12 commissioner, just the way he thinks. We've talked about this before, this is where we're headed in conference administrations, university administrations. For decades, your athletic directors were always, not always, but often just former coaches who transitioned out of coaching and now they're running athletic departments. It's like the old football coach or the old baseball coach or the old basketball coach, and now he's the AD or she's the AD or whatever. Conference commissioners, they were typically people who like came from a school. Like you're the North Carolina AD, but then you go on to be the ACC commissioner, or however that works. More and more, people are starting to look outside of traditional college experience because these are big billion-dollar things, entities, and you need to be running them like businesses. And Brett Yormark, like he used to run Barclays Center. He entered college athletics from the outside world. So he doesn't have any sort of blinders on that traditional college people might have. Like, this is the way we do things. Why? Because it's the way we've always done things. He doesn't know how you've always done things. He comes to the table with fresh ideas. Like, hey, so, he's from New York, and like he's got big ideas. And he's like, hey, I know the people at WWE. What if I were to get to them and we could all cross-promote? And if we could bring SmackDown on Friday nights to our markets and then have the football games and it's just a bunch of cross-promotion, let me call my guy and boom, boom, next thing you know, here we are. I bet you Greg Sankey never even thought of something like this. I bet you most conference commissioners, they don't, because you don't even think that this is something you could do. You have to be from outside of the structure to even have something like this pop into your head as a possibility. That's the benefit of having a guy like Yormark running your league. And so now they get this neat little thing. We'll see how it goes, but on paper, at least, it sounds interesting.
Yep.
Number 4.
Lance McCullers from the Houston Astros has hired private security to, quote, protect his family after getting online death threats and other nasty words sent his direction. Well, he's been struggling. And we live in a world now when professional athletes struggle. There's always somebody out there getting into their DMs or just tweeting them out in the public. Some nasty stuff.
Yep.
And apparently with Lance and his family, there's like been actual death threats. Like, I hope your kids die. Or, that kind of stuff. And he's like, I don't feel safe anymore. So I've literally hired private security to protect my family. How do you feel about that?
I don't blame him.
Except, I guess I don't blame him either, because if something were to happen to your family and you didn't do this, but it was in your head that you maybe should have, you would regret that lack of movement
Here's
forever.
the thing, though, is I now that I think, dude, when is that ever? I mean, people online, say horrible things and nothing ever happens.
This is more my point. I'm threatened online every day.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not threatened like I'm going to show up at your house and put a gun in your mouth, but hey, Parrish, I don't like your rankings. You should walk into traffic and die. Hey, Parrish, I don't like your rankings. You must be R-word. Hey, Parrish, I don't like your rankings. You don't deserve any job you have. Hey, like it's just I don't even blink at it anymore. I mean I see it.
No, I'm with you.
I see it, but I don't even. Well, Chris and I were talking about this 2 days ago, I guess. Like I see it. I never want to pretend I don't see it. I do see it. Like if you tweet at me really nasty stuff, I will probably see it unless I've already muted you. And I've done that a lot because there's just people out there that they just want to tweet me, and I'm just like I'm so tired of seeing what you think. Like I shouldn't even know who you are, and you tweet at me so much that I recognize you. That's my rule. If you tweet at me so much nonsense that I actually recognize you, like somebody on the street could be like, "Do you know at blah blah blah?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I hate that person." If I could ever have that reaction, you're blocked or muted. I just don't want to see it. I don't care. But I do see a lot of it. And here's where I'm genuinely at. I mean this sincerely. I haven't always been here. It used to like bother me some. But if you are the type of person who wants to tweet personal things like you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, you suck, you should die, you should kill yourself. If you were the type of person that tweets that to somebody about anything, it says something about you, but especially about, you ready for this? Basketball rankings in May.
Yeah.
If you think I need to walk into traffic because I have Kentucky ranked 12th instead of 8th, that says way more about you than it says about me or my ability to do any aspect of my job. I genuinely can't even imagine clicking on MLB rankings and being so mad at Jeff Passan for having the Mets 7th instead of 4th that I tweeted him, "I hope your family dies, Jeff Passan." Like that, I've never tweeted anybody about a ranking of anything, as far as I know, unless it was about the Politex, then it was a whole column part of the job type of thing. But like, if you can find a tweet of me like complaining about where the Mets are in somebody's power rankings, I guess I'll own up to it. But I'm telling you, if you find it, it's going to have to be from a long time ago, because it ain't going to be anytime soon. Like I always try to picture, like, who is this person? And I go, how sad must their life be? How sad must it be that they are spending part of their day directing that type of anger at me, somebody they don't even know, will likely never meet, and it's all about a basketball team ranking. How, like, I feel, as I'm getting by, like, who is this person? I immediately go to, that person must have a just really sad and lonely, just like you are looking for something from me. I don't even know you, and you don't know me, but you're looking for something from me. If you've gotten to a point where you need something from the basketball team ranker that you've never met, oh, buddy, you need to look into that. So I don't even get bothered by it anymore to any sort of real degree. And I don't even blink at what could be, I guess, reasonably considered a death threat. I don't even blink at it because I don't think it's real life. I don't think those people would say any of that stuff to me in real life. Like I'm, I walk around, I don't have a private gate on my driveway. I talk to people every day. Nobody ever speaks to me this way in real life, ever. But it's every 30 minutes on social media, and I just don't even pay attention to it. And so if Lance McCullers feels threatened in any sort of real way, because like he is a professional athlete, like people bet on this stuff and then they lose money and then they want to blame the guy who gave up a 3-run homer. Right. Like it's different than just ranking basketball teams. I'm not trying to conflate the two topics. If Lance McCullers does feel threatened, then yeah, do what you need to do. It's like peace of mind's a real thing. If you think you need security just to sleep at night, I understand that. But I think this is going to be very common going forward. You're going to have, if you're a professional athlete, you're going to have more people tweeting what can amount to a death threat at you than not, probably. Did you see the one with Nas Reed yesterday going around?
Yeah, I did. He was going back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's nasty out there. I don't think that's real life. But it is real in your phone, and it is real on your iPad. I don't think I would care too much about it because again, I play it out. It's a little bit like we were talking about the NCAA tournament. If you expand the NCAA tournament, it will ruin the sport. Okay, can you tell me any other time you expanded the NCAA anything and it ruined the sport? No. Okay, then what are we talking about? Similarly, did you ever hear about the Major League Baseball pitcher who was murdered after getting threats on Twitter? You ever heard that story?
Mm-mm.
All right, so it just doesn't really happen. I'm not saying it won't ever, and like I'm familiar with the Monica Seles story, so I got all this. But online threats are different than real life, like in-person threats, I think. And more than anything, what Lance McCullers and other professional athletes are gonna realize is that this is just a part of their life now. And if you don't want it to be, deactivate social media.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be very difficult, bordering on impossible, to be a professional athlete moving forward with all the money being thrown around in gambling and people having access to you every day, or at least your mind. They have access to your eyes. Like, I guess not every person in the world can walk up to Lance McCullers and say something to him, but you can tweet at him and he'll probably see it. With this many people having access to you, your mind, and this much money being gambled every single day in our country, this is just going to be the way it is. If you're a professional athlete, you need to learn to deal with this because it's just not going away. I would love to tell you there's a way to fix it, but there's not. This is life in America right now online, and it's not going to get better. It'd probably get worse.
Number 5.
Big announcement.
Huge
announcement.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney has created what is being called bathwater bliss. And it's going to be soap, 5,000 bars, made in part with water she has bathed in. Now, if you're wondering, what in the world is this? Here's where the idea comes from. Weirdos jump on computers every day and
say, I would drink the bath water.
I would drink Sydney Sweeney's bath water.
Yeah.
Would you drink somebody's bath water? Like, if I genuinely gave you a cup of Sydney Sweeney's bath water, would you drink it?
I don't think so.
This is the thing people say, that they would drink somebody's bath water, but would you really drink somebody's bath water? I can appreciate Sydney Sweeney just like any other man or woman, but I don't think I would drink her bath water. Like, if she walked up to me and said, hey, GP, here's a cup of my bath water, I'd say, pour it out. Why don't you pour that out?
Yeah, why do you have that?
Why are you walking around with a
Why
cup
are
of
you
your bath
walking
water?
around with that, Sydney?
But here's the thing. This will sell out immediately.
It will sell out immediately. But the thing is, though, is you're not getting her bath water. You're getting soap infused with the bath water. So what are you going to do? Eat the bar of soap?
You will have a bar of soap, and you will have to eat it. I think more likely,
someone will post themselves on social media taking a bite out of this bar of soap. That will happen.
Will you wash yourself with it? Would you clean your underarms with a bar of Sydney Sweeney soap?
I like the gel. I don't use the bar soap. I like the body wash. I don't use bar soap.
I'm cool with both.
Yeah.
I can do both, but I like a good bar of soap.
Nah, I use the body wash.
I like a good bar of soap.
I like body wash.
I like a good Irish Spring.
You know, this doesn't, not to get too gross.
Let's get gross.
But
we've already spent about 3 minutes talking about sucking on chili dogs. I don't feel like we can.
I mean, it feels like if you wanted to maximize something like this, then because we all know the purpose of this, obviously. Wouldn't you just like spit in a jar or something and sell that? You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean, but
well, I mean, if that's the whole point of this, I think the whole point of this is just for like a viral sensation.
I think the whole point of this is
just funny.
Somebody came to, here's how this really happens. Somebody comes to Sydney Sweeney and they're like, yo, every time you post a picture, there's some creep
that wants to drink your bathwater.
And the replies that wants to drink your bathwater. Your bathwater.
We're fighting this.
Your bathwater seems to have value with weirdos. Not to kink shame. I don't mean to do that. But like,
it's kind of weird.
It is. Listen, be into whatever you're into. But if you ever, there's about a million things you could say. You know, GP, when the lights go out, blah 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 blah, and I'd be like, okay, get it, man, whatever, bro. As long as everybody's consenting, it's do your thing. But I do think if you got to a point where it was like, and then I drink bath water. Okay. That's cool. But like, you know how in White Lotus when Uncle Baby Billy's buddy was telling him that story?
That wasn't Uncle Baby Billy.
I know, but it's the same character that plays Uncle Baby Billy.
What was his name in White Lotus? I can't even remember now.
But his buddy's telling him the story, and the whole time he's like, whoa. And he just keeps getting, and he's looking at him, he's trying to be comforting, like, man, you're my friend, and I'm trying to hear you out, but this sounds crazy to me. I think that's the way I'd be if you talked about drinking bath water.
Yeah.
I just don't, it's probably not healthy. Can we stop there for a second? It's probably not healthy.
It's probably not healthy.
It's probably not healthy. I can appreciate Sydney Sweeney. I would not drink her bathwater. But there's a whole world out there of creeps who think they would. Okay? So somebody comes to Sydney Sweeney and says, hey, we got an idea. You could take a bath. We could take all of that water and then use it to make 5,000 bars of soap. And we could sell them. And all we need from you is a signature and for you to sit down in this bathtub and then get out of the bathtub. And a signature. And we can give you $300,000. Okay, that's how this happens.
Yeah,
something like that. And it might be $700,000. It could be $2 million. I don't know. But she's talked about this before. I bet her reality has changed a little bit in recent years because she's a big star now. But there was a time where she was kind of just the Euphoria girl,
Yeah.
And she was in all these little commercials. She was doing all these little deals. Like, still, you'll see her on commercials where you don't think that's the commercial she should be in. And it's like, why is Sydney Sweeney in this little commercial running on cable at 2 o'clock in the morning? And she said, hey, listen, I'm not trying to, some of these Hollywood people, they like to create this image and, private planes and, $2 million in jewelry. And that's just not my life. I don't have money like that. I have a big team. Publicist, stylist. I have a big team that is on payroll. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I make $20 million a film. I don't. I don't have money like that. And so if you're wondering why you see me doing this commercial or that commercial, it's because I'm trying to grab everything I can grab right now because I don't know how long this lasts. And I have a bunch of people who are, I'm in charge of making sure their mortgages get paid. And I read that about her, and I was like, that's impressive. I like that mindset. But I bet you that's how you end up in these conversations.
I don't like this as far as I can't remember the timeline on our bet about her winning an Oscar, but I think the Academy's going to frown upon this. She if she's up for a nomination, I have a bad feeling about all these old Academy members sitting around being like, "Isn't that the bathwater soap girl?" That. I don't love that.
If your point is, has anybody ever won an Oscar after selling bars of soap with bathwater, their own bathwater in it? I'd say probably not. I'd say probably. Unlikely. At least unlikely.
I think I said in the next 10 years, she will have an Oscar.
Sydney Sweeney is talented enough.
And that was this year. Was that this year that I said that?
Yeah.
I think it was this year that I said that. It was probably earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Sydney Sweeney is talented in a variety of ways. But most people, not me, I'm not a film critic. I don't know nothing. But most people who work in that industry would probably tell you she doesn't seem like the type who is on an Oscar trajectory. Timothée Chalamet seems like he's on an Oscar trajectory. Zendaya would be more likely to get the Oscar off the Euphoria cast than Sydney Sweeney. I'm just telling you that's true.
So.
No, definitely so.
Maybe so.
If you want to do a bet right now,
I've already made my bet.
Who gets more Oscar? Let's not say wins, just nominations. Who gets more Oscar nominations in their life, Zendaya or Sydney Sweeney? I will take Zendaya for literally any amount of money you can put on the table.
No, I'm sticking with my.
I want all of your money.
I said in 10 years, Sydney Sweeney will be on that podium holding a little golden trophy.
More likely, just a bar of soap.
No.
Hey, I wish you're.
Get this done.
I wish you're well.
We'll
though.
get through this.
I wish you're well though. Would you buy one? If I got you a Sydney Sweeney bar of soap, would you display it proudly? Should we get one? Should we really get one for the studio?
Are you going to be able to get one? I mean, it's at this. They're only doing how many?
5,000.
Good luck.
Good luck.
But yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, if we could.
But good luck getting one.
I think if we had a Sydney Sweeney bar of soap in here, that would add to the room.
I think so too.
All right, let's look
We
into
need
it.
some more female representation.
We do need female representation in here. It is kind of.
It's very male dominant.
Holy shit, it really is.
Actually is only males. Yeah.
I've never thought about this
really
before.
Disappointing. I'll change that starting next week.
Yeah, we need some women in here.
I'll fix that starting next week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Once we get Jessica out of here, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty barren. Yeah, I'll fix that.
We got to take a look at this.
Okay.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, I like to think of myself a certain way, and this does not reflect the way I like to think of myself.
Me either.
Ben, we got to work on that.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back to do GP's carryout.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're going to get seated this. So who's going to actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but let me hit you with a headline from the morning. The American Athletic Conference has announced where the next 3 AAC men's basketball tournaments will be held, and none of them will be inside FedEx Forum. Boo.
Okay. Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Birmingham next year. Birmingham after that. Then Tampa. There was a point in time where, whether it was the AAC or CUSA, where the Great Midwest, where there was a real, I'm asking this from an honest place, you tell me.
Yep.
It was like, well, you kind of need to have the tournament in Memphis because that's where you're going to draw the fans.
The fans, right.
Does it matter in these conversations now that Memphis just doesn't draw fans the way it used to? If I were sitting in the conference office and they were like pitching Memphis to me, and keep in mind this all comes down to numbers and stuff, it's a negotiation like everything else. What can you do for us? Here's what we can do for you. How many hotel rooms can you give us? That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a big conversation. But once upon a time, you would say, well, the thing you got to consider about Memphis is you take this thing to Fort Worth, you're going to have 2,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
You take this thing to here, you're going to have 4,000 fans. But you take this thing to Memphis, it's going to look like real basketball games because, man, in Memphis, they show up for the Tigers. Once upon a time, that was a real conversation you had. If you tried to have that conversation right now and you said everything I just said to me and I was on the other side of it, would it be reasonable for me to say, buddy, it's 2025 and the truth is they just don't show up like that? So would it be better in Memphis than most places? Yes. Would it be better in Memphis than all places, all things being equal? Probably. But how many more fans, if we're being honest, are we really getting in Memphis as currently constructed? How many more fans are we getting in Memphis than we would get in Birmingham?
That's fair. I
mean, have you seen the Tiger basketball attendance numbers?
Yeah, I know. They're not great. But I still, like, the one that's going to be in Birmingham, I bet Memphis will have a bigger contingent than any other school.
Outside of UAB. And maybe even UAB.
Maybe even UAB. I will say it is disappointing. Jason Munns pointed out that a lot of the factors involved in this, because it's the men's and women's tournaments that are going to these locations, and that Memphis put in a bid for just the men's tournament. So I think that's a big part of it, but still, I get the point.
There used to be a point where, and all of that is, as I noted, there's always a lot of factors to this.
Yeah.
But there used to be a point where one of the main factors would be, in Memphis, you're going to get a number that you can't get anywhere else. And I just don't know how true that is anymore.
Yeah, I don't mind. And I don't even mind the locale. Like, I think Birmingham will be interesting. I think Tampa makes a lot of sense.
I like Birmingham as a city, just like to go and I
like Birmingham.
I interned in Birmingham when I was in college. I've been back there a bunch. I enjoy being in Birmingham, Alabama. That's what I'm saying. I don't go to Birmingham and be like, what are we going to do in Birmingham? I enjoy Birmingham.
You know what it makes, just conspiracy theory in me with this whole thing?
God, here we go.
I know. Well, it's not that Memphis is going to get out of the AAC, and they know that, because I've seen people make that point. I think it's more along the lines of, we want to make UAB in South Florida happy. Like, we know they're here for the long haul. They want to be a part of this. I don't know how true that is, right. but if I'm the league, I might be thinking that, like, Memphis has been wanting to get out forever, and those two schools are here, and we want them to be happy.
Again, a million things could play roles in this. I could see somebody thinking that. Does somebody in the conference office share that opinion? I bet. I don't know if that's a real determining factor, but I bet you there's somebody in the AAC office who's in these meetings.
Why do we care about Memphis? They are always talking about leaving.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you that's something that's said.
Yeah.
Why are we giving Memphis advantages when they have made it publicly known they are trying to leave us and would do it just as soon as they could afford to do it and have an opportunity to? I mean, the truth is UAB would do it too, and so would South Florida. But here's the thing.
It's not as vocal.
They're less likely to do it.
Yeah.
Memphis is in a better position than any other school in the AAC to actually leave the AAC someday. So if somebody in the conference office is like, why are we giving them anything? They want to leave us. Let's give them nothing. And what are they going to do? Be mad? They already hate us. What are they going to do? Leave? They would if they could. And they will if they can, regardless of whether we give them this or not.
Yeah.
So why are we taking care of Memphis? Congratulations, Birmingham. I don't know if that's how it went down. I guarantee you there's somebody in the office who thinks that way.
I hope that, especially for this Birmingham one, I hope that the Memphis contingent shows out. We need to take that place over.
Battle of the Bones.
Yeah, we got to take that place over.
Let's take our Bones trophy down to Birmingham.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take our Bones trophy down to Birmingham.
Let's do it.
What's today's biggest game?
Oh, we got a good one.
Where we at?
6:30. We're at the Care First Arena in Washington, D.C. It's the undefeated Liberty, 5-0, against the Washington Mystics, 3-3.
Okay, I actually, this is interesting.
It's on Ion. You'll be able to watch it. 6:30 on Ion.
I've got Ion.
It is Liberty minus 8.5. The total's 161.5. Bennett, your record's now 230, 205, and 4. You're up 2 units. You're positive 2. You're plus 2.
JB was telling me on her show today, don't sleep on the Mystics.
Is that what she said?
JB was telling me on her show today, do not sleep on the Mystics.
She can't even keep up with both of her cars, Bennett. If that's who you want to be taking advice from. I like to take advice from people who can keep up with their cars.
You know what?
What?
Out of respect to Jessica Benson, I'm gonna go ahead and take her advice, and I'm gonna go with the Washington Mystics.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bennett says 8.5 is too much to give the Mystics at home. Take Washington plus 8.5. Tip 6:30 tonight.
What are we watching on TV?
I guess SmackDown, but Bennett, I'll be honest with you. I've lost my passion.
I've lost my passion too. Oh my God.
I used to. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I can tell you stories about when people said, hey, we're going to have dinner at this time. And I say,
that's SmackDown.
It's SmackDown, bro. I'm not doing that. What are you talking about? I'll meet you later. I'll meet you when SmackDown's over. I don't even care anymore. I mean, I read the recaps.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's going on, but I don't need to watch this tonight. They have lost me. Not totally. Just, I'll keep it as simple as this. I don't look forward to it the way I used to look forward to it. I don't look forward to tonight. I want to. It's in Knoxville tonight, I believe.
Is it really?
Bianca Belair.
Oh, so that'll be cool. She'll get the big homecoming.
Yeah, I think that's right. So I will DVR it or tape whatever, and I'll know what happened by the time it's over. But I don't love it. I don't want it like I used to want it.
I know.
It's tough, but it'll be on tonight.
Yeah.
You can watch it 7 o'clock USA Network.
What's the best thing we've read?
Matt Norlander, my colleague CBS Sports, was inside the Garden last night for Knicks Pacers. He wrote about Game 5, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out, cbssports.com.
What's on tap next week?
Oh, buddy, we'll keep talking NBA playoffs. The Thunder are waiting to see who they're going to play, Pacers or Knicks. We'll have all that figured out, and then the finals start next week. So it should be a fun week. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy your weekend. I'll enjoy mine. So meet back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.